guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a knife video for you. Today we're taking a look at a really budget offering from SOG. I did get this from Justin over at White Mountain Knives, so if you're going to pick one of these up, go over there, use my discount code. You'll save yourself even a little more money. These are already pretty cheap. I think they're going to be running you around $20. Now, this is a pretty famous design from SOG. Probably anyone watching this who's been around the knife world for a little while will be quite familiar with the Flash series of knives. There's a bunch of different colors and blade shapes. I think they even did first responder versions and serrated blades and unserrated blades and tantos. And so there's lots of variants of the SOG Flash series out there. This being the FL is a stainless steel Framelock, all right, and it's sort of in the standard Flash size. It does have a couple of things that are similar. So we're used to seeing the deep carry clip with SOG prominently displayed on it there. Same blade shape basically, although it is going to be in a different steel. And of course, the big difference is going to be the stainless steel over FRN handle. And that's a significant difference because it actually makes this knife better, in my opinion, than the FRN version, which is notorious to always have blade play. I think pretty well every one in existence has blade play. And it's just a feature of that lock mechanism, which to me makes it just a bad locking mechanism. Anyway, I don't want to rant about that too much, but I will say this: there is a new Flash coming out, which doesn't have a lot of the problems with the locking mechanism that the original had, and to me looks to be an improvement in practically every way. And I'm really excited about that knife. So I'll be looking forward to sharing that new knife with you as soon as it's available at retailers, or at least as soon as I can get my hands on one. You guys know, being in Canada, I can't always get stuff as quickly as others, and that's just the way it goes. So, I don't even try at this point. I don't, rush to get the very first available, latest and greatest thing. Just isn't a thing here. Even if I do order the very first one available, often shipping is so much slower that everyone else has got one before me anyway, so it just isn't worth it. So this one in particular is pretty widely available, shouldn't be that hard to find. I think they kind of did this as sort of a Walmart offering to come in at a budget price point where people would see the name SOG and be like, hey, SOG makes decent stuff, and there's one for like $20. And that's the thing, these do go for around $20, which is really affordable for what you're getting. There really aren't that many great knives out there, or even knives that I would say, hey, that's a decent blade for $20. I'll talk about a couple of other options when we get to comparisons. So let's start off with size and weight. If you're familiar with the Flash, it's pretty much typical. This is just under 8 inches, 7 and 15/16. The blade is just under 3.5 inches at 3 7/16, 4.5 inches closed, and so there's that number, 4.5 inches closed, 4 inches of grip area, so between here and here. And finally, this guy weighs in at 5 ounces, which is not unexpected for the size and the construction. If you take a look at this, you can see full stainless steel. There's no milling internally, so 5 ounces is not at all outlandish for this knife. The blade here is going to be HCR13 MOV with a full flat grind and a stonewash finish. It's a pretty thin blade stock and pretty decently thin behind the edge. So in terms of using this for cutting stuff, it's quite good. So, and again, I keep finding, I keep looking for what is the big glaring issue with this knife, because it's a SOG, which I've had issues with before, and because it's $20, so you're not expecting them to put a lot of attention to detail and stuff in there, but it's just really capable, everything you kind of look at. So the steel is HCR13. I mean, that's not great steel, but it's certainly more than adequate. And for $20, I don't know what you'd expect. You're not going to get M390. So it's really hard to complain about, the blade in terms of, HCR13. It's a capable budget steel. So what more could you really ask? Moving on to lockup and deployment, you can see this is a Framelock. The lockup is, about 50%. It's on washers. It's actually decently smooth, and you could probably, if you spent some time with it, get it even better. I haven't bothered to do that because of the price point. This is just a knife I'm going to buy, throw in my pocket, and use it to cut stuff when I want to. Kind of a bit of a beater knife idea. I will say a couple quick things about that. The lockup is very solid, right? For a knife that's very affordable, you kind of go, well, you know, is there something missing here? If they really messed something up? And the fact is they haven't. It feels pretty good. It's on washers. It's got an accessible lock bar there. The detent is pretty nicely dialed in, so it snaps open pretty quickly when you flick it. Let's see if you can kind of roll it open. You can if you're careful. Not nearly as much fun as just flicking it, but you can if you know, don't want to draw too much attention to yourself. Roll it open slowly. The detent is pretty stinking good, and the thumb studs are reasonably comfortable. So again, it's fine. I mean, there's just nothing really that stands out as, man, they just blew it here. Everything is pretty darn good. On the stainless steel handle, we've got some milling, some texturing here. That's not too bad. It's very thin, which does make it carry easily, but doesn't help the ergonomics a whole lot. And having said that, even though it's thin, it's not terrible. It's not, you know, uncomfortable or unusable at all. And I have used this a fair bit and didn't notice anything where I was like, oh man, that's so uncomfortable. That's such a big problem. The clip doesn't really create a hot spot. Everything just, you know, it feels decent in hand. And so again, you know, a pretty capable knife for the money. We've got, of course, stainless steel slabs here, standoff construction, making this easy to clean out if you had to. You can move the clip over to the other side and carry it left hand tip up rather than right hand tip up. Obviously, the lock is not moving. You're still going to be dealing with the lock in the right-handed location. But again, guys, no issues with this knife. It's just, you know, it really is a decent knife for 20 bucks. And that's pretty impressive, I've got to say, you know. So thinking of comparisons, there's not a lot out there that compares well to this. Now, SOG has done a stainless steel Aegis, and look for this review coming up pretty shortly. I'm not sure which of these we'll post first, but whichever one it is, you know, you can go and watch the full discussion. But they are both available. This one is on bearings and costs a couple bucks more, but not a whole lot more. Otherwise, they're quite similar. So I'll throw that one out there. What else have I got for, you know, budget-friendly flippers? Oh yeah, Civivi Backlash here. Now this is going to cost you double the price. Okay, so this guy is going to be 40 bucks. This guy's going to be 20 bucks. That's nothing to sneeze at. And yeah, the Civivi is going to be different and have some other things going for it, but that's not unexpected for the price point. Here's another knife that's going to cost you about double. The steel is going to be a little bit better. It's got G10 over a liner lock. This is the Bird Raven 2. More for, you know, again, a very popular budget knife. It's going to be the Rat Model 1. This is the D2 version, so it costs more. But, you know, for 10 bucks more, you could go to a Rat Model 1 with the FRN scales and Aussate steel. And finally, just more for size than anything else. And I suspect most of you are quite familiar with the Flash. It's been around for such a long time. But in case you're not, you've never seen one before, there it is beside a Para 2. Overall, guys, what do I think of this knife? I really don't have any issues with it. It costs very little. You know, there's not much out there that's good for that price point. I guess you could throw in the K-Bar Dozer, the Buck 110 Pro or the Buck 110 Slim in the FRN and 420 HC. You're going to probably get a little better performance out of that 420 HC because of the way Buck does it. But there's really not much out there that I can look to and say, hey, here's a better deal for you. So SOG has done a really nice job here in offering a capable, very affordable folding knife here that I can see a lot of people picking up and rather enjoying. It's a bit heavier than the FRN, but frankly, I would take the extra couple of ounces to have a blade that doesn't doesn't wobble around when I flex it. So, you know, what are you going to do? I think this is a pretty decent knife. I think SOG has done a nice offering, and I will say I'm really looking forward to the updated version of this that should be hitting retailers in the next few months if what they're saying on the various discussions at SHOT Show are going to hold true. All right, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Don't forget to use the link in the description. Go pick one of these up from Justin. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. We'll talk to you later.